Welcome back to the lunch table, food for thought. I'm Nico Blitz. Make sure you hit that subscribe button just right down there. We're also on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio app, and most recently too, I just figured out we're on Spotify. So that's a great look for us. Shout out to us one time, man. My next guest, I don't even know how I found him. I think he just hit me up on Instagram, right?
Sounds about
And
right, yeah.
so I went on his page. I was like, okay, his IG page is cool. Then I went on his Spotify. I was like, wait, why does his song "You Over Them" have like 900,000 plays? So I played the record, and it was smooth. And then right at the end, he hits you with that little Fetty Wap sample in the back. He goes by the name of Cero. What's poppin', man?
What's up, man? Thank you.
Nice to
brother.
have you, man.
Thank you, bro.
I really oh man, dude,
No,
we gotta
all
dab
good,
each
yeah.
other up again, bro. Dude, I really appreciate that shirt. People usually come in here like looking hella dark and shit, and I'm like, bro, like we need something bright.
You know what, bro? I usually do dark, but I was like, it's summertime, and I'm not really on video a lot. And I was like, let me put some color in my life. So I was like, why not? You know.
That's a good look, man.
Thank you,
It's
bro.
very like islandy for sure.
Thank you. That's what I was going for today. So I'm glad you got
For
that.
sure,
That's
man.
cool.
But yeah, dude, that song, "You Over Them," fucking popping, bro. It reminded me like some old school AJ Raphael shit, and I was over here kind of like just like singing to it, vibing to it. Really perfect for the time right now too.
Dude, you know what? It's crazy. That song, bro. First of all, my girlfriend hates that song.
Why?
Because it's about like another. It's about a girl I used to date, right? Like my ex girl.
Yeah.
And I always tell my girl, I'm like, yo, like the reason why I got into music was because of like this girl I used to be with who broke up with me, and I had to get all that out, you know.
Yeah.
And it was crazy because like I remember I put it out and I was like, man, I guess people will like it. They could relate to something like this, and it just literally took off on Spotify. And I was like,
That's crazy, man.
and I like it wasn't like I did anything to it. I just literally put it out and it just happened.
Wait, did it get like playlisted or anything, or like do you know of any of that?
So what happened was what song was it? This other song I had got playlisted.
Okay.
It was called "Living Single." It
Yeah, I think I saw that one too.
Yeah, it went on Billboard and everything. It was crazy.
That shit went on Billboard.
Billboard, like Spotify Billboard. Is that the same thing?
Okay, I mean, I don't know.
It said
This is
Billboard.
new to me.
It said Billboard. it said U.S. Billboard Top 50. So I
Yo,
was
that's
like,
crazy! Congrats, bro.
thank you, bro. So when that happened, all my other songs started getting heard, and it was that one that caught everyone's ear, and it was like on a couple BuzzFeed videos, the "You Over Them" song.
Wow.
Yeah, so like they had this article where it was like, you know how they have those dumb like quizzes where it's like, oh, like answer these questions and we'll give you like a song for like the mood you are, and that was one of the answers, my song.
Really?
Yeah, but like the thing was like there's only 2 songs that they gave you, so it was kind of like a trick. It was like my song and like some other chick. So everyone that did it
Dude.
was like getting my song, and they were like, oh, like
It must, dude. That's insane. It must have been crazy for like either you to find it or somebody show you like, hey, like I think your song is on like a BuzzFeed YouTube video right now.
you know. So I have this bad habit of, and I stopped it, but I used to have this bad habit of always like Googling, like Twitter searching like Cero.
Your name.
And like one
Hey,
day,
bro, we all do that shit. Fuck you. I do that shit too.
you know, just to see who's talking about me, you know, see what's up.
Yeah.
But I remember I did it, and I saw someone post like, "Oh, like I got this song, Cero, You Over Them from this BuzzFeed quiz," and I was like, "What?" So I clicked the link, and I was like, "Oh shit, like that's me." And I thought it was like a joke. I thought it was
Yo.
fake, and I went on their website and I got the quiz, and I was like, "Ah, that's sick." And I showed it to my mom, and she was like, "Whatever."
Man, she was like, only 900K. Let me know when you hit like 200 million.
Let me hit you when you, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right?
Let me know when you get $2 million, $900,000. That's when I care.
She's like, yeah, you know, Bruno Mars, he has like 200 million plays on all his songs.
That's the
Type
goal,
of
man.
shit.
For real, she was just like, oh, whatever, it's cool. My girl was hyped though. Like all my friends were hyped. They were like, yo,
Yeah.
man, like that's crazy. And everything was just cool. Like everyone just, it wasn't like I did anything like inorganic. It was just I put music out.
And you know, like that's the best part of it
Yeah.
because nowadays between everything on social media, bro, and how like Facebook and Instagram survives, it's like, oh, you know, you can like boost this for like
Yeah.
$25 so people can hear it. But like what's crazy about your song in particular, You Over Them, it's just it was just a natural story of you just put that shit out there.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a song really just based off your emotions and your feelings.
Yeah.
And then it just gravitated toward the right people.
Yeah, and that's what's crazy to me, man. It's like, cause people always like my friends who like do music and stuff. They're like, "Oh man, like, how you get all those plays? Like, what's the secret?" And I'm like, "Dude, like, I just put music out. Like,
Yeah.
there's no secret. It's like, and I used to have like a like a manager, I guess.
Okay.
He was more like a friend that just knew stuff. He always told me, he was like, it doesn't matter like how much money you put into like a promo or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not good, it's not good.
Yeah.
And he was like, people who like music, if it's good, they'll just hear it and it'll just take off on its own. And like I'm a believer in that. It's just like if you push good shit out and people who matter will hear it, then that's how you know. So.
Well, you know, even being in like the radio industry, I have a really good sense of like payola. And
Okay, I have no idea what I've heard about payola.
So payola is basically like you throw down a shit ton of money to get your music played. You throw down a shit ton of money to like get your music on Spotify playlist. Oh. Yeah, dude, and it's the craziest thing because you can literally do that and you're basically paying for the exposure and you're paying for the plays at the same time. But it's organic plays. You know what I mean? And so in a sense it's kind of like it's an easy way to get your name exposed if you have the bread.
Yeah. True.
Because, you know, not a lot of situations like yours will come up as organically. Yeah. You know what I mean? Not everyone's going to be like, oh, I need this on a BuzzFeed video or whatever.
Yeah.
But so, you know, being in this industry for a while now, it's kind of like, okay.
You know it's real, yeah.
You know it's real, and you know that's always an option if you just have that dough. But
yeah. It's crazy, man, because it's just like with the whole Living Single song, like that's like a whole story in itself. It's like, I'm like, I dig through YouTube for like beats. That's my thing. Like, you know, like I do it, and it's like, one day I came across this beat, and it was like some dude sampled Living Single, and I, you know, bought the beat. It was like $30, and I literally made it in like one day, put it out like it was like a Saturday. I'll never forget. I made it on a Saturday, recorded, put it out. And I distributed it like I think that Wednesday or Thursday, and like the next week it got playlisted on like a Spotify playlist, like Viral 50 or something like that.
Wow!
And I was like, oh shit! But then the crazy thing was like a week later, like it was like it started off at 50, got up to like I think 43, and then 28, like on the chart.
Yeah.
And I got an email from this producer called Cam Obi.
Okay.
Is the dude that made Living Single for Big Sean. Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah. And they were like, you know what? I don't know who sold you the beat, but like, it wasn't like.
Yeah.
You kind of got.
Like, you can't use it.
Can't use it no more. And they were like, oh, so like, it's either you take it down because, you know, we have the beat now. Or like, we'll get our lawyers and shit. And I was like.
Yeah, because you don't want to like hop in that copyright infringement era.
Yeah, no way. But by that time, it like, in a week, it had like 200K on Spotify.
Damn, man.
Yeah, and I was freaking out. I was like, yo, I'm quitting my job. I'm dropping out of school. I'm done.
And you're over here thinking like, man, I just bought this beat for $30, bro.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, damn, $30 was a good investment, bro.
Yeah.
And then I took it down, and it's funny because I remember when, like, no diss to Big Sean, you know, shouts out to Big Sean.
Shout out Big Sean.
But when he dropped this song, literally on his Twitter, it was like, yo, like, this is Cero. This is Cero. And I was like, that's fucking sick.
Wait, he was like tagging you or whatever?
No, so Big Sean put the song out, and like all people that followed him would like comment like on Twitter.
Oh,
and
that
they were
is
like,
crazy.
And they were like, yo, like this is that one song I heard by Cero.
Yo, that's insane.
Yeah. And I was like, yo, like don't poke the bear. Like stop, chill. Don't poke the bear.
Like, yo, bro, I already got out of this situation.
Yeah,
like,
I was like, don't poke the bear, please. Like, don't.
No, but you know what I mean? Like, that is insane to me.
Yeah,
because to think that, like, wait, it was the exact same Living Single beat?
Yeah, exactly the same.
Wow.
Same loop, same everything, man. And I remember it was crazy because at first I was like, man, this has to be a fake email. You know, like, this can't be real. Like, I didn't, because it was just like a long-ass email, and there was nothing, like, that looked, like, formal. And then they were like, oh, well, here's, like, the song that we have. And it was literally, like, him, Big Sean. It was Big Sean, Chance, and Jeremiah. And I was like, it's a cool song.
Yeah.
I was like, my bad. I'll take it off.
Yeah. So I'm wondering now if like Living Single, if you made your version like after the song was created.
So I remember I put it out, and then it took like 2-3 weeks for people to hear it, and then they were like, oh, like you got to take it down because we have the song rights actually. And then I think that was like in the summertime, and then he released the single in like November, October.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget that because I was like, it took a while, and they were like, you could put it out on SoundCloud and like YouTube after the song drops. You just can't make money off of it.
Yeah.
So that's why I put it out as like put it out again as like a remix. But everyone knew, they were like, I don't understand. Well, people that knew me were like,
yeah, people who knew you, because you know that's the craziest part
Yeah.
too. And Yo, that's actually a very unbelievable story.
Yeah, dude. I remember I was literally at work because I'm a server at a restaurant, and I got the email and I was like, yo, check this out. Like fucking Big Sean's.
I'm getting sued by Big Sean.
Yeah,
right
no,
now.
legit. I was like, yo, Big Sean even take off my song. Look at this.
Yo.
All my homies are like, yo, take this shit off, bro.
But you know what I mean? Like it's knowing situations like that, like
Yeah.
how effective your music can be. It must be inspiring for you in itself because it's like, yo, like I'm over here competing with like the Big Seans of the world. I'm getting my music on like all the BuzzFeed videos and shit. Like I feel like it's situations like that that really, I guess, like affirm that you're doing the right thing in a sense.
Yeah, literally, bro. It's just like every time something happens, I'm just like, because I mean, I'm pretty sure you could relate, like being in, like this world, like music, entertainment world. It's like you constantly like always second guessing stuff. You're like, is this the right thing? Like,
Yeah.
should I be doing this? Like, could I be doing more? And every time something happens, I'm like, all right, like it's just a sign that to keep going.
Hell yeah.
So it's hell inspiring, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
you gotta follow those signs, bro.
Yeah,
as far
man.
as far as they go.
Hell yeah, man. Because it's just like my girl always tells me, she's like, you know, like you do this like with no manager, you don't have like a team or anything. You just kind of do it, put it out, and then things happen.
Yeah.
So that should tell you like, you know, like just because you push it out, like just keep going. Like
So then, how long have you been doing music for?
let's see, what is 2019? Maybe like since 2016, 2015.
Pretty recent still.
Yeah, like for real. Like I used to just fuck around and like rap with my friends.
Okay.
But it
But
was
did you go by Cero back then? Too?
Hell no, bro.
What was your name?
So you know what's crazy, bro? It's full circle, right?
Okay.
I was the biggest Big Sean fan, and my name was
That's
Big.
hilarious.
And my name was Big Kev. Like for my friends, I always call myself Big Kev. Yeah. So when the Big Sean thing happened, I was like, man, that's like total full circle right there, bro. I mean, it was like in the worst way possible, but it was like full circle for me.
But you know, I could kind of see why Big Sean would be like in your tier of like favorite rappers because Sean, he's able to like spit very hard and he has like one of those versatile flows, but at the same time he could be on a song like Living Single, or he could be on what's that song with like Katy Perry?
He has a song with Katy Perry?
He has a song
I
with
didn't know
Katy
that.
Perry and Pharrell. It's a crazy record, but my point being is that like he can be on something like so melodic or even like an Ariana Grande song and still sound like Big Sean.
Yeah. And it's like his whole 2088 stuff with Janae Aiko.
Amazing album, bro.
I
Dude,
fucking
you know what I'm talking about?
Bro,
and it's
that
like
shit
not that
was-
many rappers can pull that type of shit off.
No way, man. That's why I always tell my homies, I'm like, dude, like that's the wave of like music right now. It's like you got to be able to like do both in a sense. Like if you could spit, that's cool. But the thing that everyone I feels like listening to is like if you throw some melodies on it.
Oh yeah.
Like Big Sean's like a big one of them. Drake, like he's not a great singer.
Well, Big Sean did it before Drake.
Oh hell yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I love Big
Drake
Sean.
just popularized it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, but Sean's been
Sean was-
doing this shit for a minute,
That's why I
dog.
love Big
Yeah.
Sean, bro. I was in high school when his first album dropped. What was it, Finally Famous?
Yeah, Finally Famous.
And that's when I was like, yo, this guy's the truth. And then he had that mixtape before that.
I think it was like Finally Famous 4 or something.
Yeah,
like
something
that.
like that. That's when I first heard
like
of
it
him.
wasn't the album Finally Famous.
Yes. I was in high school and like me and my friends were like, yo, like this guy's cool. Like that was like our high school soundtrack, him and like Mac Miller.
Yeah. What's your favorite Big Sean album?
Honestly, my favorite one is what is it?
You better say the right one, bro.
Well, I don't know if it's an album. It's kind of like Detroit.
Oh, you like Detroit? Detroit's cool.
It's like a mixtape.
Yeah.
album where, like
That shit has
24K.
like J. Cole on it.
Yeah,
Somewhere in there.
that's why, because he has like I think it was 24K with J Cole.
Yeah,
I think
Yeah, yeah. That was a great song.
that one. But then I like 2088 the most with Janae.
Really?
Even though it's not
Okay.
like a
dedicated Big Sean album.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Just because I thought it was like a completely different flip of his music, and I was like,
Well, because it was like what packaged into like 7 or 8 songs
Yeah.
possibly, and it's like everything was just so concise, and it was literally just like every single situation you could go through with a lover.
Well, I think I liked it too because like they did like the music video series. I don't know if you saw those.
Yeah.
Or like his whole album was like a story. It was like from them starting the relationship to like the end of it, and I was like, oh, concept album, got it.
Yeah, dude. That's why it was brilliant too, and like Janae's voice on it just kind of. It crashes with Big Sean's voice that much more well that like, you know, they get the high ends and the low ends at the same time. I'm like, bruh.
beautiful.
But my favorite Big Sean
Yeah, I was
album is
gonna ask you.
actually a Dark Sky Paradise.
Okay, see that was like it was that 24K.
Okay.
I was like, I mean, or Detroit, I mean. But yeah, that was a good ass album.
Yeah.
That's a good
That was
ass
good,
album.
bro. And it's like I'm not usually into like the dark shit, but like he just made it sound
Yeah.
so good, man.
Oh man, dude. Yeah, fucking Big Sean. Shout out.
Yeah, right.
Hope you see this and be like, yo, here's Living Single back.
So then, were you like inspired by like the Big Seans of the world to do music seriously?
No, okay, so the real story is my two best friends, like I grew up with them since freshman year. We grew up in like the same city, and they're like these two like big black guys, and everybody knows them because my homie, he played basketball for San Francisco, and now he works for like the Warriors and stuff. So everyone, yeah.
Okay, there we go. Hit him with a yee one time.
I can't leave you. I can't leave you with the yee. Gotta be two yees.
Right.
But yeah, so everyone in my city knew him. They're like, oh, this guy's going D1. He's doing everything basketball. The guy's dope. My other homie, his name's Iffy. He played in the NFL. Like he was like everyone knew who they were, and I was just the guy that tagged along with them. And it always bothered me. Like not like in like a bad way, but it was like kind of like me wanting to stand out in some way. Like I didn't want to be the guy that just tagged along people.
I got you.
Even though they're my best friends, like I'm proud of them, I love them, but I always felt like I was like I want to make my own name.
Yeah.
And we'd always fuck around and just rap in the car. And before they left, because they left home for like 4 years. Before they left, they were like, "Yo, like you should try and do music seriously, like just because they liked how I wrote." But I was just like a dumb rapper.
Yeah.
They're like, just figure it out. Like, you could write, just figure everything else out.
What were you rapping about back then? Stupid shit.
Stupid stuff. Just like stuff that I never did. Like, man, I got 4 bitches in the whip. Like, but it's like me and like my 3 friends. So I'm like, you guys are the 4 bitches in my whip right now.
We got the imaginary girl sitting right next to me, bro.
Yeah, like it was just like, it's like bullshit, bro. Like typical like fake rapping stuff.
Yeah.
And then I took it seriously when I was like, you know what, like that'd be cool. And like when they left, that's when like I went through everything with like my ex-girlfriend. And I was like, damn, like let's start writing. And then I figured out like I could kind of sing a little bit. And I was like, cool, let's do it. And then everything just I figured out like my sound, I guess.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, you should take this serious, see what happens.
So then when they left, is it because they were older or you just decided to stay behind?
No, they left because they just like had to do like their work. Like my homie was playing college football. My homie's playing college basketball.
Yeah.
So they had to be like in Arizona and San Francisco.
So then by the time like they're leaving, you're over here still in like LA area and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn.
And it was just like so I always felt like whenever they came back, because they come back every summer. We kick it for the summer and they go back. I was like, every time they come back, I need to like not be like just stuck. I need to like at least one up myself at least. So it's kind of like we all pushed each other, which I thought was cool because it's like we always like, yo, like we got to be better than what we are.
Yeah.
And it's like because I love my city. Like I'm from West Covina. There's a lot of great dudes that do music out there, and it's like and like we've grown up there, so we've seen a lot of dudes kind of get stuck, even though they have a lot of talent, And it's like we don't want to be like that. We don't want to be what we saw.
What do you think makes people like stuck in West Covina? Because I left the Bay because people got stuck over like so much bullshit, whether it be like drugs, girl problems, family shit. There's like a whole bunch of things. So I'm wondering if it's like the same over in West Covina.
Nah, I mean, maybe drugs. I mean, like, we see like a lot of drug dealers from like where we grew up, but they're not. It's not like crazy or anything. It's not like like not as bad as.
It's not trap houses everywhere.
Yeah, it's not trap houses, but it's like. Things happen to people, and they got to figure out like life or like their dreams, and then life takes over. And it's like that's a lot of it. And it's like they just made decisions that kind of altered like their choices or like their what do you call it? Their road.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, like we see what they did, we don't make those same decisions.
Yeah.
And it's like, so like it's crazy, man. Like there's a lot of dudes from our area who like should have done stuff or are doing stuff, but there's like so many of them that didn't go that way. So.
And I think to see like so many people who you feel like are extremely talented but haven't made it to that upper echelon of music, it makes you a little bit hungrier too.
Yeah, and like I mean, like that's like one of my biggest fears is like going through life and not doing like what I should have done. Like I don't want to be like 40 and be like, damn, if I was 27, 26, I wish I would have done that.
I'd be doing this, I'd be doing that.
Yeah, I want to be like, yo, when I'm 40, I'm like, yo, I did that.
Yeah.
And if it didn't work out, it didn't work out.
But it's crazy. I was actually just reading a Logic Supermarket book. Have you seen that floating around?
No.
I'll get it to you right now.
Oh, fuck yeah.
This shit's fire, bro.
Okay. Okay.
Great book, everybody. Great book.
Logic has a book?
Yeah, no, Logic literally he wrote that book, or he released it like not even a month ago.
Okay.
So basically, I'm on a chapter in which like he's like
Okay.
ranting about being a worker in the supermarket, right? So then like basically think of this fictional character who's working at a supermarket, and he's ranting about people who complain about not achieving their dreams, or like, getting every single aspiration that they need, when in reality all it comes down to, well, why haven't you done it yet? Oh, well, because I need money, I need this, I need that, I need blah blah blah. Like, there's a laundry list of things that you need before you can actually achieve your dreams.
Damn.
Where, literally in this chapter he's explaining like, I fucking hate people who do that type of shit. Because you can omit all of that shit and just be like, well, why don't you just get it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, for instance, like when I moved out here, right? My mom was like, hey, so I'm not paying for your apartment over in West Covina for another 6 months. So you better find a fucking job.
Damn.
Or you better, move back to the Bay. So I'm like, all right, bet.
Figure it out, yeah.
I'm gonna figure it out. I got a job within like 2 months. Like blew out the rest of my money. I was like, cool. As long as I have my job now, like we get to go. I can still stay.
I'll figure
here,
it out.
Yeah, figure it out.
Fuck, man, that's crazy, dude. Yeah, that's the thing. Is like, I think, have you seen the movie Us?
Yeah.
So I think that was a great movie. Like, I thought it was just like a symbolism of like you're your own worst enemy in a sense.
Yes.
And like that's the thing. Like, I feel like you were talking about with the supermarket. It's like you're naming all these things that you need to do. It's like, well, like you said, like just do it. Like you're the only one holding yourself back. Like you said, you came out here to find a job in like 2 months, like a city you never,
I've only been in for like maybe 2 years at that time.
Yeah, man, that shit's fucking sick, dude.
It's crazy, bro. Because even like going back to Us, like you remember the scene like when the Tethered were underground and they were over here like emulating the fucking the roller coasters and everything. Yeah, spoiler. But they were like emulating the roller coasters, like
yeah, bro.
And I was like, yo, I mean, like, they look crazy, but in real life, it's kind of like they know what they want. So they're like, fuck it, we're going to, like, just emulate it. We're going to pretend like we're there because we want to speak it into existence in a sense.
Yeah, dude, exactly, bro. That's what I'm saying. It was like, I'm not going to lie, bro. I cried in that movie. I don't know why. I cried, bro. I have no idea why, dude. I was like, at the end when, like, she was fighting herself.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, you find your own monsters right now, girl. I feel you.
Yeah.
And I was just like, damn. And it's just like, that's like a big thing. Is like, especially like music. It's like, you got to get over like your own like demons in here.
Yeah.
To push it out.
Well, what kind of demons were like you stuck on? Like, what was preventing you from being like the version that you are right now?
Oh, fuck. That's a deep question. Honestly, man, it's just a lot of like insecurity, a lot of self-doubt, because every time I'm making stuff, I'm just like, but is that what they want to hear? Is that what people will like? And like, I told myself and like, people that I've worked with in music, they're just like, you just gotta get over that like thought and just do what you like. And then it's a lot of like, you gotta have like thick skin in a sense, because it's like
a lot, bro.
And I learned that the hard way, but it's like you gotta have thick skin, because it's like you put a song out, they don't fuck with it, all right, on to the next, you know, or like figure out a way for them for like, if you think it is a good song, like figure out a way for people to hear it. And it's just like you just gotta have that self-belief. Because if you don't believe in yourself, no one else will. And that's what I learned a lot. Like, my girlfriend tells me that all the time. Because she's like, you just got to believe in yourself. Shouts out to my girl, Monica. And, yeah, man, it's just like, and especially like, so I do shows a lot. Or I used to do shows a lot. I've kind of stopped for like recently. But like, you have shows where it's like 5 people there. And you got to get over that like, that like monster. You're like, yo, I'm going to just walk off. Fuck this.
Well, even at a show, bro, like I've been to shows where there's maybe like 50 people. Then I've been to shows where there's like 20,000 people.
That's it.
Right? And my favorite shows are when there's only like 50 people or less.
Oh, hell yeah.
Because, for instance, one of my favorite rappers from Kansas, shout out to XV, I saw him performing out here in LA a couple months ago. And this guy, he was signed to Warner.
Oh, shit.
He was doing shows at South by Southwest. Like people
sick.
in the industry, like hip hop heads, like know this fool, right?
Yeah.
So when I seen him, but then he had like a 10-year like hiatus where he didn't make any music. Oh shit. So when I seen him like a couple months ago, it was literally in a room of like 50 people, and he was still rocking that shit.
That's sick.
As if there was like 100,000 people in the crowd. And I asked him like, how do you get how do you get over the fact that you've been in front of like crowds of like 10K, 20K, and you're over here performing in front of like 50,
Yeah.
right? And he was like, you just gotta go hard every single time. And you know, if that's that type of shit that you love,
Yeah.
then you know, 50 more people in real life,
Damn.
who get affected by, you know, your music, they're gonna be wanting more from you.
That's
But
crazy.
you imagine being in a crowd of like 20K, you're probably only affecting like
what? Like
I mean, half is still pretty good.
That's
You know what I
true,
mean?
yeah.
But
But-
in a sense, it's like if you can affect 100% of the people who are in there,
That'd be
that's
cool.
a win, bro.
Yeah, hell yeah. I remember like my worst show was I think last year or 2 years ago. Well, I think whatever. It was like this show that was kind of like, all right, I gotta stop doing this.
Yeah.
I was at the Glass House in Pomona.
Okay.
And it was like this music festival. They told us like, yo, like you guys are gonna be headlining it. It was me, like my friend, my DJ friend Nick Pacoli, and they were like,
No.
Yeah.
Wait.
yeah, Nick Pacoli. He's shouts out Nick Pacoli.
Hold up.
Shouts
Wait.
out Nick
Let me
Pacoli.
reset the cameras really quick. Wait.
Yeah.
Nick Pacoli.
Yeah.
Let me just. Sorry, I'm
Shout out
going on
Nick.
like a super side tangent right now because
Shout out Nick.
I'm pretty sure he samples a lot of shit, huh?
Yeah. He's like one of the best like artists I know. That feels awesome.
Bro, yeah, I've been following him for a minute.
Damn.
Yeah, because I fell in love with his Miguel Sing SZA like way back in the day. And I reached out to him. I was like, "Hey, bro, like, what's up? I want to interview you." I think I got a response, but like, we could just never get it down.
Man, so that guy, he's a big inspiration, bro. Because I've seen him from like when he had a 9 to 5 and then doing music, and then he was like, "Fuck my 9 to 5, music's my 9 to 5."
Wow.
And it was such a cool thing. Like I literally saw like the process of it, and to see like where he's at now, touring, fucking, like just blown up and everything, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, dude, like that's my guy, it's my brother. Like I'm happy for him, bro.
Yeah.
But we did this show at the Glass House, and I was like, cool, like we got this, bro. Like it's gonna be a fun night. It's the Glass House, you know, like this is like a bucket list venue. Come out 8 p.m., bro. 5 people in the venue. You ever been in Glass House?
Just
you know
once.
how big that is?
Yeah.
And there's 5 people there, bro.
God.
And I come out on stage and I literally look at my homie photographer, his name's Saul. I look at him and I'm like, bro, I'm walking the fuck out of here, dude. Like, this is stupid.
Damn.
And
bro.
he literally's like, and it's kind of what you said. It was like 50 people, 5 people, 100,000. You gotta give them the same energy because they take time out of their lives,
to be there.
money out of their pockets,
Mhm.
you know, that they work for to see you. And I was like, you're right. I was like, let's do this shit. And that was the best 5 people show I've ever done. But after that, I was like, all right, we need to chill.
Yeah.
And then I think it was the same thing for my boy because after that he just like took off. But
Yeah.
it was a very humbling, bro. Like you said, thick skin, you know. And it was crazy. I was like, all right, cool, 5 people, that's all right, cool.
Yeah, man. If you can walk out with 5 more Instagram followers after that, fuck it, bruh. Shit, let's run it again.
Yo, run that shit, run that back for real, bro.
Yeah, dude.
That's crazy. I didn't know you knew Nick. I mean,
I don't know him, but it's
well,
like,
I'm actually not surprised. I figured you would have heard of him because everyone knows who he is here now,
yeah.
which I think is so sick, man.
Hey, I'm just saying, I was on him like 3 years ago, bro.
Man, that's funny story. How I got to know him was I've heard of him on SoundCloud like when I started doing music, and like if you ever talk to him, he could probably tell you the same story. It was like I hit him up like super ignorant on I think it was SoundCloud or like Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yo fam, we got a link, Bob. You know, like the typical like
Yo, what's good, bro? Hey, bro, your music's tight. Check me out, bro.
Yeah, literally, bro, like word for word, verbatim. And he's a super nice guy. So he was like, yeah, man, like, you know, like I'm just in the area, like da-da-da. And he invited me to do a show with like him and like his homie Neiman. And it was crazy because like I was in Pomona at some bar, and right next to the bar, after I had emailed him, he was doing like this like DJ gig, and his name was like on the
flyer?
desk. Yeah,
Oh,
on the
on the
flyer.
desk,
Yeah.
okay.
And I was like, oh, like I just emailed this dude, like super like ignorant. Let me walk in here and talk to him.
Walk up to him like, yo, what's good, fam?
Legit.
How are you?
Legit. And I was like, yo, man, I'm the dude that emailed you. And he was like, oh, he's like, what's up, bro? And like, it was just chance, bro. And it's just like, you know, and
Just
then
natural.
yeah, hell yeah. And he's a cool dude. Shouts out to Nick. I miss
Yeah,
you, bro.
shout out to Nick, man. Well, I mean, shit, I could see how like you guys would get along too because he very much samples like R&B.
Yeah.
and like all the like those old school sounds and shit. And that's kind of like where I feel like you get your inspiration from,
Yeah,
like old school
definitely,
R&B.
bro.
What do
Hell
you
yeah.
listen to?
Old school stuff, like stuff. Brian McKnight, love his R&B, bro. I don't know if you ever listened to Brian McKnight.
Starting back at one.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah?
So that's
That's all I know, bro. That's all I know.
So I put my girl on because like she too was like, I mean, same thing. She's like, back, same
Yeah.
thing. But all of his old stuff, bro, like his pen game is just ridiculous. Like he's like if you want to feel heartbreak, like hardcore heartbreak, and like
I ain't ready to open that up.
like I told like I always tell my friends, I'm like, yo, this is like he made Marvin's Room before Marvin's Room. Like that's how like good his songs were, bro. Like just like the way he writes about it, because it's like he had an album where like he was going through a divorce with his like his wife.
Oh wow.
And he wrote about it, and it was just so like you could like I felt like I was there, and I was like, okay, like this guy's like a great artist, like this guy's dope. So when I want to get like just like pen like inspiration, like for sure him. Like melodic inspiration, like Michael Jackson, I guess, because it's just so like they use like sweet melodies,
Yeah.
like him, people like him. I'm not saying JT's old school, but like Justin Timberlake melodies, like they're super sweet, and it's like, all right, that's cool.
Yeah, because I mean, I can't speak on like Brian McKnight right now.
Yeah.
But it's like people like Michael Jackson or Justin Timberlake, they were able to just like push the envelope just a little bit farther than most people.
Yeah, dude, and it's like that's a big thing too. I was like, I love melody, and that's why I love hearing like the rappers like you said, like Big Sean, Drake. Like I love when dudes use melody because it's just something so simple that like adds to like a song. It's like you could say the same like I took a speech class and they were like you could say like one sentence like 1,000 different ways, like and I was like, what? And then like they broke it down. They're like, you could say hello, you could say hello, 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 like. It's like 1,000 different ways,
And it all just means different shit.
yeah, and like and I took that and I applied that to music. I'm like, you could say like the same like bar, like the same lyric, but you could say like 1,000 different ways.
Yeah. Well, like whenever I hear like freestylers, for example, right?
Yeah.
And I know it's rehearsed. 9 times out of 10, like it's rehearsed.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's
for
like,
sure.
okay, if
yeah.
it's rehearsed, it better be fire.
Oh hell yeah.
But the best freestyler, the best freestyler that I've heard, at least at Real 92.3, the radio station I work at, like it was Stupid Young.
Okay.
And Stupid Young, he didn't say anything like, like super insightful or like fucking out of this world type shit, but like he just said everything he said with so much energy, and I knew it was off the top of the dome too, because I could just like feel that from him, and I was like, yo, like. Your energy is crazy right now. And it's like the way you're saying shit means a lot more to me than being like this super insightful motherfucker who wrote everything down. I can memorize like 64 bars and say it to you right then and there, like nonstop. I'm like, bruh, like, just make it come from the heart, bruh.
Yeah, fuck yeah, man. I think that's the best music too. Is like when it just comes straight like from like the real. Cause it's like, I always felt that way about freestylers too. Like I love watching like people rap. Like I can't rap, but I love watching people rap. And I'm like, yo, if they're dope, they're dope. Like when I was younger, I used to watch a lot of like Dumbfounded videos.
Oh, dude. Okay.
Yeah,
bro. Like, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I don't want to take it away. Go
nah,
ahead.
and it's just like I thought. No, you know what? The thing is too is like I thought that was super dope at the time because I was like I'd never seen at that time, I'd never heard or seen like an Asian like guy in music. So I seen him and I was like, yo, this guy's Asian. Like, and then I don't know if you saw his post the other day where he talked about the backflip kick that he did on the dude in the freestyle.
No,
You ever seen
I didn't
that?
see that.
So it's what made him go viral. It was he was like doing a freestyle battle with some dude because at the time that's like what was popping, like freestyle battles. And in the video, like you know how like guys will always fight and freestyle, like, yo man, like watch what the fuck you say to me. And in the video, they set it up for like he would like do like this karate kick and fuck this guy up. You never seen it?
I haven't seen that one,
Bro, it's like the most viral video I'd ever seen. And at the time, like there was no such thing as like going viral. So when they did it, everyone thought it was real. Wow. I thought it was real. And then he just posted yesterday, like a couple weeks ago, and he was like, "Yeah, man, like I did it. My manager told me to do it because it was for sure gonna be like a viral clip." Yeah, dude, it's like the craziest video.
I'm sleeping, bro.
Yeah, this is like what made him become like popular, like mainstream.
See, because same as you, like I found Dumbfounded because of this video he did actually against another Asian rapper, and they were just like battling each other, right?
Yeah.
But then Dumbfounded was the more superior rapper, like within that battle. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna look more into Dumbfounded, and literally I would just go into like my YouTube wormholes, just seeing like, yo, I need to know more about this cat, but subconsciously I didn't realize like, yo, there actually isn't a lot of Asian rappers.
Yeah.
I see. Like in this entertainment industry, I feel like back then it was literally just like Dumbfounded, this dude from the Bay named Nump. I don't know if you ever heard of Nump.
I don't think so.
Gorilla Pino. He's like this Filipino cat. There was also Jin too.
I know Jin.
And in terms of like a DJ Qbert.
Okay.
So you know what I mean? Like there wasn't.
It wasn't a lot.
And Mike Shinoda.
I
know a lot. I owe a lot to Mike Shinoda too.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? That's only 5, bro.
Exactly, dude. And it's like that's crazy to me, man. Because it's like you know, Asian people, Filipino people specifically, bro. Like they love music.
Yeah.
All they do is sing in the house. But it's like, why is no one like honing that,
pursuing that?
Yeah. And it's like that's crazy to me, bro. It's like you guys have gifts. Like we have gifts. It's like share it. But I think it's like again, it's that fear, you know, that fear of like what your peers will say, like what your family will say.
Yeah, because I think our generation, I'm first generation like American, right? Filipino American.
Yeah.
So like when my family moved out here, and this is just based off a lot of consensus that I've got from like the podcast, is just that like when they moved out here, they had to figure out a way to make money immediately.
Yeah.
Right? And they needed to make a lot of money. So the best way to do that was, I'm going to be a nurse. I'm going to be a lawyer because that's where all the fucking money's at, so I can provide for my family so they don't have to struggle for the rest of their lives. Now being like the first, are you first generation?
Yeah, first generation.
So, you know, also being like first generation Filipino American, like we now have the opportunity to do all the shit that they couldn't do.
Yeah, exactly, bro. And it's crazy because like I've been blessed like while I've been doing music to just meet like people who like are super like knowledgeable, like they might not be like super popular, but they've been like in like the fucking weeds and like on like they've been shit, like they've done stuff, and they'll always spit knowledge to me. And like, you know, like my homie Byron, who used to work for Universal, he told me, because I told him the same thing. I was like, dude, like I want to do music, but it's like, you know, like my parents are like, what, like, what are you doing, man? Like, you know, go like finish school, which I did. Shouts out to my degree. And he put it to me best, bro. He was like, you can either disappoint your parents for 4 years or disappoint yourself for the rest of your life.
Damn.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah. Like when he put it in that way, I was like, that's true, because it's like they're not going to be the ones who are like 40, 50, like regretting stuff, you know, like it's going to be you. So like, I mean, in the moment, it's going to be, like, kind of hard. But, you know, like, I feel like it'll be worth it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, and when he said to me before, I was like, damn, like, that was deep.
No, that was deep, bro. This is the clip.
Yeah.
Right now, this is the shit I'm chopping up for Instagram, bro.
For real, bro. And it was just like, you know, it's like, I just learned a lot from people, bro. And I appreciate that, because it's like all my homies always ask me, like, that try and do music. They're like, yo, man, like, how do you get into this room? Or how do you do that? And I'm like, a lot of it's just luck, man. Like with you right now, like I hit you up, and then you like fucking hit me back.
Yeah, he was like, "Yo, what's up, bro? What up? What's good, Cuddy? Let me get on the lunch table, fam."
But see, like my thing is, but my thing is like, how many messages do you get like that,
bro? See, because I get so many messages like that, and I'm like, yo, like, because you know, at least for me, right?
Yeah.
I'm a lot more polite than others.
Yeah, for sure. You
I feel
definitely
like
are.
I feel like I'm a lot more polite.
You
right?
definitely are.
So when
bro.
I come off on people, I'm like, yo, you know, like, what's good? Like, how's your life doing? You know, like, what you got going on, type of shit. So when I get hit with a message that's like, hey, bro, like, I just dropped this song yesterday. It's like, hello, hey, I'm still human. What's up?
And that's what your boy, I forget his name, the dude from Arm Base.
Oh, J Main.
He said the same thing, and I thought that was like super like. I try and be mindful of that. Like, you know, whenever I try and reach out to people, that they are also people and they got lives, that they're not just like on their phone, like waiting for someone to hit them up.
Yeah.
So I'm always like, you know what, like I'm not going to be that guy anymore that's just like, yo, man, check me the fuck out. You trash. I'm the best. Like, I always try and be mindful of that. Like, because it's like everyone's a person. Everyone has their days, their like good and bad days. So it's like maybe I hit them on a bad day. Like, let me just make sure that when I hit this person, that is super like proper and like respectful.
And sometimes, all the time, dude, too, is just the fact that, like, if you're able to plant the seed and be okay with letting it grow the way it's supposed to grow, like you can leave it. You know what I mean? Like you can leave the seed alone and just hope it blooms into a flower.
Exactly.
Relating it back to this situation, it's kind of like I remember now when you sent me that message, I saw it on my DM because I got like a shit ton of DMs and I was just like, man, I don't want to bother with this shit right now. Fuck it, whatever. And then like on like my day in which I was a lot more relaxed, I didn't have like too much going on. Like at that time when I checked, I was like, okay, this guy was like the most polite. Let me check this shit out. Boom, boom. Oh shit, this guy's actually tight. All right, let's set it up. You know what I mean? And it's like I've learned being in this industry for maybe like 3-4 years now that like patience and persistence will be your friend. It'll be your number one friend, bro.
Yeah, bro. That's patience is like a hard thing for me. Like that, like as I've gotten older, like I'm trying to learn patience because it's like I think the best example of like a dude who had patience and was like, I'm gonna wait my turn was Russ.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like that fool was just like, and it was, you know what's crazy, man? Like I remember when I was like active on SoundCloud, I would when I was putting all my songs out at first, it was like that before that You Over Them song, I had this other song that I put out, and that one took off on SoundCloud. It's called But. Get it, check it out.
I like But. I was listening to it yesterday.
It was a fun song, but I remember I put it on SoundCloud. And like when I put it out, SoundCloud had hit me. They were like, "Yo, like we're doing this R&B thing because everyone thinks of SoundCloud as SoundCloud rappers, but we want to show everyone that we're not just SoundCloud rappers, and we're gonna put you with 3 other artists." And it was me, it was Russ's song "Losing Control," it was Khalid when he barely put out Location, and Division Too Deep.
Wow,
I'll never forget
bro.
that because I put that out on SoundCloud and like. What they did was any hot song that came out on the algorithm, it was our first songs that came on after. So like when Bryson Tiller had Don't on his SoundCloud, our first songs came on right after that.
Yo.
Yeah, that shit was wild.
Hey, that's tight, man.
Yeah, so I remember that and I was like, so patience. I learned that. I was like, all right, because all those guys, like they waited their turn, especially Russ. And I know Khalid, like I remember when I heard when I first heard Location, that was like January of like 2016, and then that song didn't get on the radio till like the next
years
year.
later. Yeah.
So I was like, all right, patience, you know. And it's like, it's hard, but yeah, we gotta have it. Exactly.
And it's like you see people like Khalid's career like extremely pop off. You see Russ being probably the most hated person on the internet right now. However, I will applaud his work ethic.
Oh hell yeah!
You know what I mean? Like you can't hate on this fool's work ethic, bro.
And it's funny because it's just like you can say whatever you want about him, but like his music's there. Like his music is quality.
Yeah.
Like no
Dude,
matter. Yeah.
Motherfucker sold out Staples Center twice. Who does that? By himself.
By himself. Bro.
You know what I mean?
I don't know if you follow him on Twitter, but he always posts videos. It's like he did like a 10-year challenge, which like tripped me the fuck out. It was like him doing like a show of like 20 people. And then like it transitioned to him at Staples, and I was like, "Yo, chill out."
Oh my god!
Yeah, I was
yo,
like, "Chill out, dude."
insane.
He's like, "Oh, we're doing the 10-year challenge. Check this out." And I was like, "Yo,
like this cocky motherfucker.
ultimate flex, bro." But I was like, I respect it.
Yeah.
It was crazy, man. And like, yeah, my girl always be sending me like inspirational shit. So that was one of the videos she sent me, and I was like, "Fuck, that's psycho."
Yeah, dude.
That's crazy.
That's why, like, I remember having this conversation with my homegirl, Kathy the Kimchi, and we were discussing about how, like, there's really no cap on, like, when you can become successful.
Yeah.
No, like, there's no fucking age. And, like, the more you think about, well, I need to be this by the time I'm, like, 26. I'm 26 right now, you know what I mean? I need to be this by the time I'm 26. Oh, next year I need to have A, B, and C. Half of it is like speaking it into existence, which is a great thing. But like at the same time, if those things don't come to you, that just means it wasn't your time yet. But that doesn't mean the next day or the next year won't do what you need it to do. Or what you would like to see out of like your personal career.
Oh, for sure, man. Yeah, that's great advice because it's like especially in music or like in this industry, like you could have like a great 3 months and you're like, yo, I'm on top of the world, and then boom, just quiet.
Yeah.
And it's like you got to be able to take the highs and the lows And that's what I've been learning a lot. Because there was like the year that everything was happening, like the song was going crazy. Spotify, BuzzFeed, fucking Billboard. That was all in one year.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Fuck.
yeah. And I was like, yo, like
I'm about to pop off.
for real. Like I was, and like my managers and my job, bro, like they know exactly like what the situation is. Like they know what's up. So they know like, okay, like your music takes priority and we'll help you out whenever you need it. So I remember I was telling them, I was like, dude, like I might quit right now. Like this is about to pop off. 'Cause I was doing shows, I was going to colleges, I was, getting good money. And then the next year happened and it was like, boom, nothing. And I was like, oof.
Damn.
I was like, all right. And it was like something I had to learn from, which which was great. Like I learned a lot about like myself and just like music, But it was a good learning experience.
So then, being in the year of nothing, what did you do during that year of nothing?
Sulk? No, I'm just kidding. Cry? Nah, you know what, man? It's so it was a lot of reflecting because it's like that year that everything happened. I was thinking about, okay, like why did everything happen? Kind of like an athlete, you got to study everything. So I was like, the year that everything happened, why did it happen? And I just remember what happened the year before that, and I was like, I put a lot of work into like music. I had wrote all the songs that I put out that year. I made it all the year before, so it was just like a result of like a year's work. So I was like, okay, like it didn't just happen. Like it wasn't just like I put out a song in like a week and things happened. Like I made the songs a year before, planned it out for the year, and then that's when shit happened.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, so the year that was just like dead, I did the same thing. I went back to working on music, went back to working on myself, trying to figure out like what sounds cool, what sounds, I kind of like, what do you call it? Kind of like fucked with like funk a little bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just to try and see like if it was something that could like work with me, and I thought it did. Like I got a song called Summer Fling, like the complete opposite of like what everything I put out was.
Yeah.
And I thought it was crazy. Like one of my homies said, like, yo, I thought it was a white guy. Because it's just super, like, not me. Yeah. It was, like, super not me. It was just like, what the hell is this?
That's
and I was like,
insane.
so it was super cool, man. It's just, like, it's a lot of, like, trying stuff out. And, like, I just made a lot of songs last year. So now this is the year that I'm just like, yo, here's all the stuff I worked on.
This is everything that I worked on last year.
All the stuff
that might pop off.
All the stuff I went through.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, because it was a lot of, like, personal growth, too. Like, it was a lot of self-doubt. Because it was, I never experienced, like, I'm pretty sure you can relate, like, stuff that you work on, and then if it does really well, you're like, oh, fuck yeah, man. Like, I worked hard on this, and it did good. Like, hyped.
Yeah.
And I had that euphoria of, like, a year. And then just, like, yeah, you know what I mean?
I got you. So you were kind of, like, in that state of euphoria for just a little bit too long.
Yeah, exactly,
Got
bro.
you.
Like, I did a show at Cal State Northridge, and then I did a show at UC Riverside. And I'll never forget, bro. Like I walked into especially at Cal State Northridge. Shouts out to the kids at Cal State Northridge at FAFSA Club. They it was a room. It was like me and Jessica Sanchez, the girl from American Idol.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. She was dope, bro. Like they had both of us perform. They asked us. They were like, yo, like our students want you to perform with her, and I was like, for sure, fuck it.
Man, what's the rider looking like?
You got food? No, bro. They had hella Filipino food, bro. This shit was sick.
In Northridge?
Yeah. Like at the show we had, it was sick.
Okay.
It was a Filipino club.
Gotcha.
But I'll never forget, bro. It was like there was like an auditorium. It was full of kids, and I'd never been in a room. It was like maybe 50, 60 kids, and they all sang my songs like word for word back. And I was like,
Wow.
what the? I was tripping
Yeah.
out. So that was like the cap. I was like, yo, I'm here, fucking doing it. I was like, I don't even gotta sing. You sing this shit for me.
Damn, this cocky motherfucker.
No, it's not even like that. It was just.
He's like, man, fuck Russ's 10 years challenge. This is the 10-minute challenge, bro.
Nah, see, I want the 10-year challenge though.
Yeah, no.
I don't want to be 10 minutes. That's the thing, and that's a big fear too. Is like I don't want to be the dude that's just forgotten. And I think it's everyone's fear. Is like they want to be like remembered for something cool. Like
Oh yeah.
like Nipsey.
But that's what. Yeah. But even Nipsey too. Nipsey's career has lasted over a decade, bro.
Oh hell yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's like the unfortunate situation is that like a majority of us didn't know exactly what he was like doing. Like
Yeah.
he wasn't broadcasting like I'm helping out my community type
Yeah,
shit.
no.
People just like gravitated toward it
Yeah.
and then did the promotion for him basically.
True.
Whereas the complete opposite of what's happening with like the Tekashi 6ix9ines and the Soulja Boys, right? Like Soulja Boy had his whole run in January. Like January was Soulja Boy's month.
That fool's
You
like
feel me?
That fool's it.
But it's like they like people like that are willing to do like very outlandish shit just for like a very quick buzz.
Yeah.
And it works for only
Certain people.
a certain amount of time. If you can keep that quick buzz going by doing stupid shit all the time,
go for it, man.
All the more power to you, whatever. But like 9 times out of 10, it's gonna wear you out.
Yeah, because you're not being authentic.
Yeah,
you're just being a character,
and
that's just I couldn't picture doing that. But it's like like that's what they're gonna be remembered for. Like if Russ's career ended today, you'd be like, oh, that fool's the guy that came up and that did some crazy shit. Or if you remember like Nipsey, like his career ended, but unfortunately, but he's remembered for great stuff, not bad things. Like if Soulja Boy's career ended today, he'd be like, yo, that fool's a troll.
Yeah,
and like
it's like, bro, you could have just ended at Crank That. We would have been good, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, like I mean, like look at Chameleon, bro. Chameleon, the rapper.
Yeah,
Chameleon.
yeah.
That fool did a complete 180 of his life. Like he went from rapper, took all his money, and now he's like he invests everything in Silicon Valley. That fool's like he's like into apps and like technology now.
I think Paul Wall's on that same shit.
Smart, bro.
Yeah.
And now they're gonna be like, whenever this stuff happens, they're gonna be remembered for like music and then all the stuff they did after that.
Yeah.
Which I think is sick.
Because I feel like at some point, like, even though music is life and every artist wants to put their music out too, like, there's so much more in the world, at least from like a business aspect and personal aspects, in which like like the music shit is cool.
Yeah.
But what we got going over here.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like the music ain't going nowhere without technology.
Exactly. And it's just like, or even like to like take it further, it's like the impact you leave, right? Like just go back to Nipsey. Like he left the impact that will be felt forever in this community. And like with Mac Miller, like his impact was a little different, I feel. So like his music like touched so many people. That's why people were just like, fuck, like we lost Mac Miller.
Yeah.
That's how I felt, at least, because that was like my guy.
Yeah, I mean Mac Miller's situation is just slightly different because he was going through like a whole bunch of like internal shit that we all basically heard through his album, but nobody like did anything about it. And I think in a sense it's like it all comes down to awareness. Like when it comes down to like Nipsey's death, it kind of taught me like, okay, we should be going back to our communities and we should be like unifying instead of like dismantling like all the union that we should be having. Whereas for Mac Miller, it's kind of like, okay, well, dude was going through a lot of like internal shit. The Simple Cure, referencing back to the R and Bass podcast I had with J Main. How are you?
Exactly, man.
Like, are you good today?
Everyone's going.
What do you need, bruh?
I've never cried over an artist until Mac Miller passed, and I did not realize that I felt the way about him. And that's why I knew like, okay, like this guy had an impact, and that's like, like that stuff that maybe he'll never know, because but it's like that's the kind of impact I want to leave. It's just like maybe like I'm not gonna like maybe I won't be able to do the stuff in my community that I want to do, but if the music I make touches somebody like the same way that he touched me, like that's it, bro.
Yeah, man.
Like I remember I got a message one time, dude. Like some girl was like, she sent me a DM. She's like, like I heard your song "You Over Them," and for some reason like I was ready to kill myself, and I heard your song come on Spotify, and I felt good. Like your voice calmed me down, and like because of you, I'm here. And I was like, oh shit, man. Yeah. And I was just like. And then at that time, I was
sorry, but that's crazy.
Yeah, I remember at that time, man, I was going through my own shit too. And I was like, man, like I'm done, bro. Like I'm tired of this. And it's like little stuff like that. It's like I just feel like it's signs, It's like lets you know that that I'm doing the right stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just like like what if that girl never heard my shit, man? Like that shit tripped me out, dude. And I was just like, everyone's going through stuff, and I just hope that someone, I hope she's in a good place. Like I still talk to her every now and then. Make sure shit cool, but that shit tripped me out, man. Cause you know how like when you get the messages, just as like one request, two requests, and I opened it and she was like, "I heard your voice and you calmed me down today. I came home from school and you came on and I've never heard your music before, and because of you, like I had to find you and let you know that you did this today."
Damn, man.
Yeah, and I was like, "Oof.
That's beautiful, man."
Yeah, man. It's just impact, man. It's just like it's crazy, bro. You know what I mean? Like. That's crazy to me.
It is crazy, man, because at that point, you realize that it's way bigger than music.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like, you can have 900,000 streams on You Over Them.
Yeah.
But at least coming from my perspective, it means a lot more. What means a lot more about that song is the fact that you were able to save a life.
Yeah, man. It's like,
because of it.
It's just crazy because it's like, I mean, you've heard the song. That has nothing to do with that kind of stuff, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But she was just like, I felt it. And I was like, damn. And I used to get so caught up in like always checking my streams and checking my followers. Like, yo, like, am I coming up today? And like, I think that's kind of like what kind of like put me in a bad place too.
Yeah.
Like, you know, because you just get so caught up in it. And then when that girl sent me that message last year, I was kind of like, all right, like that shit doesn't matter. Like if I would have had 10 plays and got that message, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Like someone felt it. And it's like everything on top of that's just like a cherry on top.
Mm-hmm.
But and it's crazy, man. Like I be getting messages like not like that, but just people saying like, man, I had a rough day today, and I heard this song from you, and man, you put me in a good mood today. Like I had finals this week, and I was tripping out. You know, like just it's crazy, like just like simplest things. But like I had finals this week, man, and I was stressing over it, and I put your shit on, and I think I aced it, but we'll see, bro. And it's like, damn, man, like I'm someone's soundtrack to their day. Yeah. Like not like in a cocky way, you know?
No, but
yeah.
Sheesh.
Like I'm someone's soundtrack, bro. Like like some kid told me like he took a girl out on a date and his first kiss was with her was to my song. Yeah, you know what I mean, bro? And like
I love it.
You know what I mean? And it's like my girl's gonna be like, man, you talking about me too much, but she always tells me, man, she's like, because I always tell her, man, like no one's hearing my shit now. Like I'm always in my head. And she's just like, you don't know like the people who've heard your stuff. Like you don't know how they feel.
Yeah.
You don't know like what you've done. Like stop saying that. You know, like you don't know.
Because those are only like maybe 3 instances in which like people like reached out to you, bro. Yeah. But it's like you imagine if you even want to go back to the numbers, man, you were able to touch 900,000 people, bruh.
Nah, that'd be crazy.
But you know, with 3 people like responding to that type of stuff, like imagine the people who are kind of like nervous to do that type of stuff, or you know what I mean, like don't have the necessary means to like reach out to you. Like those are the people like you don't know about it, but it's like your shit really is impactful, bro. And these are like 3 very solid examples in which like, I mean, it makes me that much more of a fan of you, man, to be honest.
Thank you. And it's just like, so I went to school for psychology, sociology. So I got a degree in like, you know, talking to people in terms of like stuff like that, you know? And it's like when people reach out to me like that, bro, I'm just like, dude, like you're my friend now. Like you're not just like someone that follows me. Like we're friends. Like I'm gonna talk to you like every week, see how you're doing. Like that girl, bro. I think she just like graduated high school. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, fuck yeah, where you going to college? You know, like what's going on? Like what are you doing? And she's just like, so it went from like her like thinking I was like, and it's always crazy. Like, man, I don't even think you respond to me. Blah blah blah. I'm like, why? Like, what do you mean? Like, I'm just some dude. Like, what do you mean? Like, you know? And like that trips me out still because I'm just like people see me like that way, and I'm like,
well, bro, because then I got that same message literally just the other day because you know, like people like yourself, I really enjoy putting on other Filipino artists.
Yeah, for sure.
So this girl had messaged me the other day, and she was like, hey. You know, I just wanted to let you know that like what you're doing for Filipino Americans is amazing, and I hope to like be like doing like similar stuff to what you're doing, not necessarily in like the podcast field, but like, you know, like I want to like help other Filipino Americans. And I saw that, I was like, you know, this is gonna be the quickest respond I do.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, like thank you, because I mean, I'm hoping to make that type of impact for like not only myself, but like for you and like other Filipinos.
Which you are, bro.
And she responded and she was like, bruh, I can't believe you responded. And I'm like, like, you know what I mean? It's normal. It's just normal shit. But like, there's this barrier that a lot of people put up nowadays in which it's like, it's not cool to be happy. You know what I mean? Like, it's not cool to just be like regular human beings and interact with each other. And I'm like, yo, like,
not cool to be happy. That's true. Damn.
To be fair, I took that from like Joe Rogan's Kevin Hart podcast. But you know what I mean? I just read the title. I'm like, yo, like that's insane. Like it's not cool to be happy right now, and like that alone is not fucking cool.
Damn, you know what's crazy, bro? I was reading there was like a thread on Twitter the other day, and it was like someone was talking about The Weeknd, and they were like, I like this music when he was like bad, like when he was sad and when he was in a bad place, and I was like, that's fucked up. You know, and it goes to what you said, and it's like, shit, it's not cool to be happy.
Yeah.
And I thought that was crazy. It's just like, that's true. Like, people love music when it's like from a bad place. Like, oh, this guy went through something. Let me hear this. And it's like, damn, like, you want me to be sad all the time?
Yeah.
Like, what if I'm happy? What if I want to make like a happy song?
Well, that's why like depression rap is a lot more like popping right now because, and especially it's popping with the teenagers because like when you and I were teenagers, bro, like, you know, we had like our own states of depression. We were just like, well, nobody really gets this type of stuff.
Yeah.
But the stuff that like at least got me through were songs like fucking It's Going Down by Young Jock or like Snap Your Fingers by E40 because it's like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, well, you know, there's an option for me to be sad or there's an option for me to dance.
Yeah.
I'm just going to dance.
That's why I think it's crazy. But that's why I think, like, whenever I hear people, like, older people be like, man, music's in a bad place. Like, you got all these, like, I think it's always that when people used to reference, like, Juice WRLD or, like, you know, another example is, like, XX.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they made music that, like you said, all these kids felt, which is, like, I think great. Like, their music, like, reached out to these kids. Like, they all felt it. Like, there was this kid I used to work with. He was a super, like, XX fan. He was at work crying the day that XX passed, and I was like, I didn't get it because I was like, I wasn't like a fan of his. But I asked him, like, bro, like, are you good? Like, why do you feel this way? And he just told me, and I was like, oh, I get it. I was like, kids of that generation, like all the stuff that he spoke about in his songs, they felt that.
Yeah.
Like just being down and not feeling like accepted, they felt that. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, that's why his song "Sad." You've heard his song "Sad"? Yeah. Like, you know, amazing song. Low key, I'm kind of over it because we play it hella times at the radio station. But nonetheless, when it first came out, I'm like, yo, now I could see like how impactful like X's words actually are because it's like everyone is sad, bro. Every single person is sad. But not to say that's all of X's music. His song that's out right now with like fucking Maluma and Lil Pump, "Arms Around You."
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with sadness, bro. And it's like, you know, it's a balance. It's definitely a balance that we as human beings need to recognize. Like, like it's okay to be sad, but it's also okay to be happy too. And when you're happy, you better be 100% happy. And when you're sad, you know, in the best way possible, be as sad as possible.
Yeah.
That way you know what happiness is.
Yeah. I always tell my friends, so I'm like, and like I always say like kind of as a joke to them, but also kind of like being for them. Like, yo, like whatever you feel, like feel it. Like don't deny it. Like don't reject it. Like if you feel something, like feel the hell out of it, dude. Like if you feel bummed out, like be bummed out. if you feel happy, like dude, be hyped around me. Like if you feel like you're like if you like you know what I mean? Like some people are like, yo, I'm not bummed out, bro. It's whatever. They shrug it off. I'm like, no, don't shrug it off. Like accept it, feel it, embrace it, and then come back.
Yeah.
And that's why I think like when we were younger, we didn't have like that luxury. It was always like, oh man, like you felt that way, like, you know, get over it.
Yeah.
Stop being alone, you know? But now like with the kids, everyone's like, oh, these kids are soft now. And I'm like, no, dude, like they're doing what they should do.
In a sense, bro, like they're actually owning up to how their emotions are. And I feel like owning up to whatever it is you're feeling or whatever it is you're doing is a lot more like, it's a lot more hard.
Yeah.
Yes, you know what I mean? Like
exactly. It's harder to say like, oh, like I'm bummed out than to be like, oh, I'm good. It's easy to just like tell someone you're good. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm good, bro.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
There's so many gems in this fucking podcast, man. I'm happy, bro.
I'm just saying, man. And it's crazy, bro. Like I'm 26 too, and like I'm barely like getting to that point where it's like I say it all the time, but I'm learning to like do it. And like it's hard, like you said, right? To just kind of like, yeah, you know, that's what I'm feeling right now. But it's like, yeah, you got to do it, man. Like, because that's how everything grows. That's how people you meet with grow. That's how your relationships grow. That's how you yourself grow. And like in terms of myself, like that's how my music grows. And it's like if I'm gonna hide that shit, like what's the point? it's like I might as well be honest.
Yeah.
Be open about it.
Yeah, that's why like whenever you put out music, man, like you never know who is gonna gravitate towards it.
Yeah, for sure.
But the second you want to be like super secretive and think like, man, I don't know, or I don't know if this is gonna pop, I don't know if this is gonna work. It's kind of like, well, yeah, you don't know, but that's the beauty of it.
Exactly, bro. That's the fun part. Bro. That's what I tell everyone. That's the fun part, dude. I mean, obviously, you get like the part where you might not get anybody to hear it.
Yeah.
But I have a friend. His name is Mike. He's like a manager. He manages Social House.
Okay.
They're on tour with Ariana Grande.
Oh,
they're the ones that
Crazy.
did the production for like Thank You Next and all that stuff. Like that's them.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So, anyways, like I became friends with them when they came to LA from Pittsburgh, but I always talk to them just like trying to learn because that's how I like to learn shit. And he told me, I was like, man, like how do you go about doing stuff like in terms of like putting yourself out there? And he told me, he was like, man, like he's like, the only thing I tell you is like the worst thing that can happen is nothing, and the best thing that can happen is everything. And I was like, word. I was like, word. And you know what I mean, bro? It's like that's what I mean by like I've just been blessed to like be in rooms with people or like talk to people, because like that's the biggest thing I take away is that like it may not be like getting like clout, whatever, fuck clout, but it's just the stuff you learn, and like that's stuff that you can never pay for. That's stuff that payola won't get you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's the shit that you
Say
learn.
it again.
That's the shit
Say
that
it
payola
again.
won't get you, dog.
Say it again, bro.
You know what I mean?
Man.
And like it's just like little stuff like that. I'm like, you're right. Like the worst that can happen is nothing. Like whatever you do, like okay, nothing happens. But the other end, bro, it's always worth taking that risk for that, man.
And even like, you know, for example, like if I just want to bring it back to the lunch table, like whenever I have interviews, I never know who's gonna like where it's gonna. I've had an interview in which like it was supposed to pop off, but then I had to take it down. I won't mention any names.
Nah, don't.
And then you know what I mean. But then I've had interviews where I knew certain things would pop off.
Yeah.
But then I've also had interviews where I'm just like, you know what, this one's only getting like 100-something views, whatever. But like the fact is, after I left that conversation, like I'm about to leave this one right now, it's kind of like, wow, I feel like there's so much insight and knowledge that we can gain just by talking to each other and just by communicating with each other in this age in which like we're surrounded by so much social media and so much like I need to have 10K followers, 100K followers. Like it's a popularity contest that we're only actually competing with like internally.
Yeah, you do.
You know? But we're never going to win that battle, one. And two, we're never going to be happy unless we constantly talk to each other as human beings and learn like, hey, like the way we learn is like through each other. Don't be so like fucking closed-minded to the fact that like we can't learn more, and it's okay to be unknowledgeable, and it's okay to be like, I don't know everything in the world, so I'm just going to ask and I'm just going to do.
Yeah, dude, for real, bro. That's the best thing, dude. It's like, don't ever stop learning, right? Because it's like, there's no age limit on learning shit. It's like you could be 90 and learn something new. And it's like, that's the thing I love. It's like, and it's going back to like everything else, man. It's just like, always ask questions. Like, because the worst thing that can happen is nothing.
Yeah.
Like, I hit you up, could have left me on red, cool. Move on.
Move on.
But, you know, like, the other end of it, you hit me back.
At the end of the day, I'm happy I hit you back, bro. This was legitimately... Because I be saying this a lot, bro. My girl's like, you say every other podcast is your favorite podcast. But I'm like, bro, it just keeps on getting better. Like, but this one is like legitimately like my favorite podcast, bro. And Cero, man, I'm extremely happy to have you here, man.
Thank you, bro. No, thank you for having me, dog.
So where can everybody find you, man?
You can find me on Instagram. That's where I'm most active, I guess. K.Cero. I got that one first. So easy. Same thing with Twitter. At Cero _KCERO_. And then get me on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Music. Tidal? Same name.
What the question mark?
I think I'm on Tidal. Yeah. But yeah, man. Just K.Cero.
Amen. This is The Lunch Table, Food for Thought. I'm Nico Blitz, Cero, and we are out. Yay!
Yay!